and welcome back to the Sticks plus Twine podcast. This is episode 14. Today is... Oh, what is today? I'm checking my fancy-dancy electronic show notes because I didn't feel like printing them. So they're on my laptop today. Today is Saturday, March 12th, and wanted to say a big thank you to all returning viewers, and welcome to any new ones. My name is Eric. I'm coming to you from my home here in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. And today it's a little bit more overcast than it was earlier today, but I'm recording a little later than I normally do. So apologies if the lighting's a little brighter or isn't quite as even. I'm hoping the color stays fine for now. But I just wanted to say thanks so much for coming back and spending some time with me. Today we're going to talk about a couple of whips. We're going to talk about a hoe. Yep, I have one. Hoe. And some stash enhancement. And of course, we have the winners of the 2,000 subscriber giveaway, which is happening today. I've already drawn for those winners, and I'll be announcing those closer to the end of the show. So let's get started. I wanted to talk about, first of all, the fact that this week has been a little bit crazy for me. We are coming to the end of a pretty intensive period of work at the agency, so I haven't had as much time to catch up on my knitting or podcasts as I would like to, so getting through them, and I wanted to talk about a few new ones today. First, I wanted to talk about one that I meant to talk about last week and totally ran out of time, and a little bit of organizational skills last week were lacking, so thanks for bearing with me. First, I wanted to talk about one that I absolutely love, and it's Shara from Australia. She's the host of the What Shara Made podcast. Guys, if you haven't watched her, she's absolutely adorable. She's sweet, she's gentle and calm, and she's Australian, which I feel like Australia is kind of my second home. I lived there for quite a while. I lived there for about a year. I did a working holiday visa whilst I was there, and I lived just in Melbourne for almost a year. So hearing the accent and stuff just makes me really, really happy. So hi, Shara. Thanks so much for mentioning me on your podcast and for taking part in the exploration Station KAL. She had made already one exploration station, which was made out of a linen yarn that just looked gauzy and delightful. It looked really, really lovely. So fabulous. Thank you so much, Shara. I love watching your podcast. I also wanted to talk about a new podcast this week. I'm sure everybody has, if not heard specifically of the Periscoping Sisters, Amy and Debbie, but this podcast, guys, it is so funny. I would rather you watch them right now than watch me because it's that funny. It is pee your pants kind of funny. I almost forgot I was watching a knitting podcast because it was just so delightful. So Debbie messaged me one night this week to just ask if I'd managed to catch it yet, and I hadn't at the time, so I immediately put it on and stayed up far too late watching it. But I had to keep pausing it and going back because I was laughing so hard. It's that good. It's really funny. So congratulations and welcome to the community officially as podcasters. They also Periscope quite often, and I love catching them when I can. So welcome. I also wanted to talk about Chanel, who has the Piper Nell podcast. She's a student in just outside of LA. She's got a great podcast too. Really like her. She's, I believe, a physics student, and she's lovely. She's young, knits with all kinds of different things, and I've just started catching up with her. I think the third episode was her most recent, and really liked watching that. So thanks again, Chanel, for mentioning me on your podcast too. Really appreciate that. There's a couple more that started this week that are on my queue to watch that I've added as well. The Naughty Knitwits podcast is in my queue, and another couple of indie dyers from Toronto who are behind Yarn Enabler and The Cozy Knitter started the Dye Another Day podcast. Started watching it, had to stop because I had to get back to work, but it looks really lovely and I can't wait to finish watching that. So again, welcome to the newest, I guess, podcast to me. Yay, welcome to my queue, although it really doesn't matter if you're in my queue or not because I would watch you regardless. So that's some pod love for today. I wanted to then, I guess I should share what's in the mug today. So Today, this is one called Livewire Lemon from David's Teas. It's got a lot of lemongrass and stuff in it. I quite like it. I find I tend to brew it a bit long because I kind of forget it's in my tea strainer, so it gets a bit strong. But I love a good strong lemon flavor. So that's what I'm drinking today. I'm starting to feel a bit under the weather-ish. I think it could just be the weather change when the pressure changes from sort of high to low. I'm prone to headaches and stuff, so kind of feel like that's what's going on today. So I felt some lemon pick-me-up might be nice. So that's what I'm drinking today. We're going to move right into some whips. So this week I did manage to get a little bit more work done on the Petty Harbour socks. These are being made on my Haya Sharps, and I love this pattern. I'm participating. Hopefully I'll get these done in time. This is only the first one, so I kind of have to get a move on. For the Lone Larch Canadian Sock podcast. Hi, Jenny. I really do like making these, but it's interesting. So many podcasters this week have been talking about sort of the differences between Haya Sharps and Addy Sock Rockets. The one thing I will say is this yarn is, and I've talked about this before, this is Hedgehog Fibres Typewriter colorway in their sock base. And it is, I will say, it's a little splitty when using a sharp needle. I'm not going to lie. It makes it, I have to pay attention because I can split the stitches pretty easily. But I love these needles, super flexible cords, which is great. And I'll show you the difference on the Addy Sock Rockets, which is what I'm using for another whip. But these are, I have made some progress. Probably doesn't look like I've made that much. I'm about a centimeter to maybe 2 away from finishing or starting the toe decreases and getting those on the go. So yeah, that'll be hopefully over the weekend. I'll get that one done. So that will then become a hoe, but it is not a hoe yet because it's not the first one done. I'm going to come back and talk about my exploration station, although it's technically a work in progress. I want to talk about that after I talk about my hoe. It is in my Mrsbrownsbags sock size, which I love. This is the the Lutz collection in the gray. And I am working on the Regia. This is the Twilight colorway from the Arne Carlos design collection. And I am calling these, again, my Patronus socks. And I call them that because this is the yarn that I love most in this world right now and makes me the happiest. And what's really interesting about these is that maybe they stripe. I don't know, Candace from Pin, Feather, and Pearls. Do these count for your stripy socks, Cal? There's kind of stripy, but they're more fair isle, faux isle, maybe. But I will show you the other part in just a moment. But these are being done on my Addy Sock Rockets. I picked them up last week to try them out. And the cable is really lovely. I do like the cable. It's a little thicker feeling than the Hayas. Some people have talked about the join being not quite as smooth as they are on the Hayas, but I don't know. I haven't had any problem with them. I haven't had any nickel plating off them, like poor Candace seems to keep running into. But I'm really enjoying these. They move really quickly. There was a viewer in one of the forums had asked, actually, no, it was on Instagram, what recipe or what pattern I'm using. I'm actually not using a pattern at all for these. I just kind of made it up. Sorry, I keep putting this cord in front of my face. I just did a 2x2 rib for the cuff. I think I did 12 rows of that. And then I'm doing a 3x1 rib for the body of the sock, primarily because I wanted them to stay up. As a guy, I kind of have bigger calves, and it's hard for me to make socks that don't fall down. So I'm happy about these. But you want to see what it all looks like, I'm sure. So here it is. Here's the hoe. I really should have grabbed a sock blocker, but this is not yet blocked because it's just the first one. I like to block when they're together and they're finished. But I'm in love with these. The colors are amazing. I hope the light, one of the reasons I wanted to put some of the overhead light on was to hopefully get some more color because it's a bit gray now outside. I love the color transitions. I like the little bits of, there's some lighter blue, there's almost a purpley blue, there's some corals, there's orange, there's yellow, there's a bit of green, there's some peach. And of course, this is the colorway that was inspired by the painting, The Scream, which is one of my favorite paintings. So this being my Patronus sock, hopefully, will count for the Harry Potter Knit Along, hosted by Katie at the Inside Number 23 podcast. And I would love to keep saying Katie, but I find it really hard to remember because we always make our T's into D's, I guess. So Katie, I'm sorry. But I'm hoping that will count. So here's my thing. If this counts for the Inside Number 23 KAL, definitely this will count for the Yarngasm Box of Socks KAL. This is I guess this is technically going to be my March pair of socks, with the Petty Harbour socks being the February one, because I started those in February. These I think I started these in March. But then it might also count for Candace's Stripy Socks KAL. Talk about triple dip. Anyway, if you haven't joined those KALs and you want to, there's still some time, so hopefully you can whip out a pair of socks real quick. So that's that. That's my... Oh! I'm really, really pleased with those. And I can't wait to finish them so I can wear them. So those are going to go back in my project bag. I find these are great for just TV knitting because... Frankly, even doing a 3x1 rib is not hard to do when you're just watching TV and not paying attention, watching a movie, stuff like that. So that's that one. Just put that down there. So let's talk about the exploration station. So that KAL is going along great, and because I've been so busy with work, I've not had much of an opportunity to interact much in the KAL, in the threads. But you people, and I keep wanting to say ladies, but it's not just ladies, all the participants are doing an amazing job of supporting one another and encouraging each other and sharing information and techniques. And I couldn't be more happy and more proud of the community for helping each other out. But I thought I would share my progress because I have made some. The first phase of the KAL was to finish the first section, which is I'm just going to try and untangle this a little bit, which are all of these great wedges of color. And then the second one, which is where I'm currently working on, is the brioche. You'll note there are no lifelines here. Living dangerously. But let me say this. There's nothing to be afraid of with this. This actually went way easier than I thought it was going to. It's literally once you get past the first stitch or two, you just get in a rhythm. You just do what the pattern says. I've said this before about Stephen West patterns. Just follow Stephen's instructions and you'll be fine. What I do love is I love the fact that I did change my B color to be the green and the C color to be the red, because the alternative would have been this kind of brioche, which I felt was a bit harsh. It's a bit abrupt compared to the green being sort of the more dominant color. I have about another 10 rows or so of brioche to get through, and then that section will be done. So that section 2 started March 10th, so 2 days ago. I just started doing the brioche last night. And you can see I started this last night and I did some knitting on it today, and it goes really quickly. The section is not very long. You'll get through it. Trust me, it's not a problem. If you do have some trepidation about it, Mina from the Knitting Expat just ever so kindly posted in the thread the link to her YouTube video. She filmed a tutorial earlier this week and uploaded it, really about understanding what the stitches are for brioche, how to fix problems if you should drop a stitch, which came in handy because I actually did. One of the yarn overs fell off as I was knitting today, but I noticed it and I knew exactly what to do to fix it. So, I just noticed there's something weird there. Oh, look at that, I did something weird. Oh, well, you know what? You don't see it on the main part. Oh, the things you notice, well, that'll teach me to knit brioche while I'm trying to, have a nice conversation. Anyway, not a big issue. Oh, so embarrassed. Look at me talking about making a mistake. Anyway, you can do it, guys. I can do it. You can do it. Anybody can do it. So I'm knitting these on. Now, what's interesting, a lot of people were asking if they were going to go down a needle size. It calls for US 6, which is 4 millimeter. I actually went down to a 5. And I'll tell you why, because I realized after I took off the needles, because I needed them for another project, I'd always been knitting these on 5. I started the entire project on the wrong needles. So I didn't really have to go down a size. I was already there. So that was good. But I wanted to share, I had some questions about whether or not I wanted to do these on metal or on wooden needles. And when I had done the swatch on metal, I was a little concerned about the gauge being a bit loose because I couldn't keep the stitches sort of tightly in enough together. And a very, very lovely viewer, Tan, sent me a message and said that he wasn't going to be using his wooden needles any longer, and would I like them? Well, yeah, sure. I'd love to see what they are. And so he sent them to me. They came very, very quickly. Tan's from Washington State. And they arrived really quickly. So I was really pleased to have them. So these are the Knitter's Pride Symphony Dreams. These are the 5s. And he sent me his entire set. So I'll show you those in stash enhancements. But I'm loving these. They're birch needles. They're not bamboo. They're all color-coded, so you've got a bit of a ability to sort of see what you're working on at the time. They're very, very smooth. The joins are really good. They work on the same Knit Picks cord because I believe these are all made by Knitter's Pride anyway. So I didn't have to do anything. I just had to swap out the needles and off we go. So I'm loving that. This section goes, I think, till the end of the month. I can't recall exactly. I should know better, shouldn't I? But I will probably, because I'm leaving next week on holiday, I'm probably going to keep moving on because I kind of want to bring it with me on holiday, but I kind of don't. I kind of want to just bring socks with me because they're just nice and easy and portable. But I think I'll regret it if I leave it behind. So I'll probably bring, I don't know, I haven't decided. But I'm going to keep moving anyway. So some people had asked if it was okay to continue on and move on to other sections of the KAL in advance of when the actual KAL sections open, and that's absolutely fine. I don't see a problem with doing that. I do ask that if you're going to post works in progress or have discussions about certain areas, please keep it into that area that is related to the section of the pattern, just so that as I start doing some giveaways from the WIT party that's happening on April 12th, that I'm pulling from the right information. If you want more information about the KAL, please do visit the thread in the Ravelry group, and it's all very, I think, very well documented there. I do want to add that there were a few more additions to our prize pool that have come in, but they're going to be surprises. So I'm looking forward to being able to share those with you when the right time comes. So that's that for the Exploration Station KAL and my whip for that one. Again, this is living in my Fringe Supply Company field bag, which is probably one of the most expensive project bags I will ever own. I don't know that I will buy any more of these, but they just released, I think I talked about this last week, a limited edition of these, but they are gorgeous. They're an investment. These will last forever. I think most project bags will. It's not like we abuse them so much, but this, I can't say enough. I just love this. I love this bag. Absolutely adore it. So that's what's holding that one. And you can see this is 4 skeins plus the wet in the one bag. Whoops, totally forgot to talk about the Gramps cardie. A couple of people have been asking how that's going, and I totally forgot to talk about it. So sorry if this seems a bit disjointed, because it is. So what did I do on it? I didn't finish it. I was kind of hoping to, but I got sucked into my Patronus socks, and you know how that goes. So here's the thing. I got the second sleeve done. I got that done. Doesn't look like it. Hang on. Where's the sleeve? There's the sleeve. Come on, sleeve. I have not sewn in the ends yet. They're all over the place. Sleeves are done. Look, it's a little person sweater. I got the ribbing on the ends of the cuffs done. So what needs to get done still, I need to pick up all the stitches, do the shawl collar. put the little patch pockets on the front, and I have to buy some buttons. Not that much to do. I want to get it done. The woman, my business partner not my business partner, no, she kind of is, but not officially. Anyway, long story. She's due on the 19th, so I got to move. I got to get this done. I want to get this done and out to her, but I don't know if I'll have a chance to do it before I leave. I have 4 days before I leave on vacation, and I know this is fast, but so many whips, so little time. But if she gets it, when I come back, that's okay, right? Like, she doesn't have to have it the minute the baby's born, does she? I don't know. You tell me. I think it's probably okay. The one thing I forgot to mention is that someone had mentioned on the podcast thread from the last time about what to do when you're doing the underarm cast-ons, and I'd already done them, so it wasn't like I could figure out how to fix it, but I will do it from next time. So thank you so much for that. Really, the tip was to knit through the back loop of the backwards cast-on. It tightens up the stitches and sort of prevents some of the holes, which is fine. And these little holes, these little guys under the arms, I'm just going to sew them up when I get to the point of actually sewing in all of these little threads, sewing in the ends. But I will say this pattern's super easy, guys. Like, I kind of want to make one now. I'm a big guy though. It's going to take a lot of yarn. This is Cascade 220 Superwash, which, honestly, I still have some left of one skein, and I did the whole body and the sleeves, and I'll probably get to do the pockets at the same time out of one skein. But for my size, a lot more. Yeah, I know. Anyway, it's a fun knit. I highly recommend it. It's a great little fast thing. I'd love to hear if you've also knit it. I know some people have talked about how they didn't care for the short row techniques around the shawl collar. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that yet. I've had some experience with some short rows that I really liked, and they weren't necessarily the wrap and turn. It was more sort of a German short row technique, which I thought was pretty invisible, actually. So I might just do that. That was one that I picked up, I think, when Josh was doing one of his mystery no-longs. There was a short row technique used, and I actually really quite liked it. So I'm going to see. I might try it, and then if I don't like it, I can always rip it back and do it some other way. But that's that for that whip. Sorry about the little disconnection and discombobulation there, but back to our regularly scheduled program. So let's see where we are. Okay. Before we get into stash enhancement, I wanted to talk a little bit about some new patterns that came out. This week, on the 9th of March, Brooklyn Tweed released a new set of patterns. I'll put a little image here of the cover of the pattern collection for Ganzis, which are traditional sort of fisherman sweaters. They're inspired by traditional patterns. And I think there's probably about 2 or 3 in there that I would have loved to make if they made them in men's sort of structure. Now I can adapt pretty easily. I don't think there's that difficult, but there's a couple that I really like. But what it really does call to attention again is that I really wish they would release more men's patterns, or that more men's designs that were more forthcoming. Maybe it's just me, but I'm going to put a challenge out to all the other designers out there. You know who you are. If you've got great men's patterns, share them with the world. Find a platform, get them out there. We're not just about scarves and socks and mitts and gloves and a boxy sweater. I'd really like to see more in the way of what's out there. I know Rowan does a great job, and there's a thread actually in the Ravelry group on men's designers who are great, and there's a lot of them out there. I'd just love to see more. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, I'm not going to go on a rant about it because I could get a little wrapped up in that. And I've had some great conversations with some folks via private message on Ravelry about that. Speaking of Ravelry, we do have a great group. Like I said, I haven't had as much opportunity to really focus on getting into conversations there, and I apologize for that. I'm doing my best trying to keep up with just the private messages that come in. If I haven't got back to you, please don't take offense. I'm just doing my best to try and get through a bit of a backlog. I'm really hoping by the end of this week to be all caught up. Like I said, I will be away for the next, I leave on Thursday morning, and I'll be out of the country essentially until the 27th. So I won't be podcasting again until the beginning of April. You may or may not see a few little snippets here and there. But in the meantime, if you need your fix, I'm hoping to get more up on Instagram. I tend to be quite active there. So let's talk a little bit about stash enhancement at this point. I realize I'm thinking, wow, I'm really motoring through this quickly, and I apologize for that. I'm trying to get it done while the light's still kind of decent. Let's talk about stash enhancement first. So I mentioned Tan, who sent me his wooden needle set. Delicue needle holder. I opened this package and was just amazed at how comprehensive and complete this was. And if I'd never seen one of these before, but I loved it. So you open it up, and it's got pockets for all of the needles with sewn in labels, so you can't miss what they are. Look at the breadth of these. This is amazing. These go from what did he include here? US 4 through a US 17. I think there's a 10 3/4, which is not in here, which is fine because I don't think that's a common size anyway. But for instance, there's a US 8. The colors of these are amazing. I'm going to hold up a couple of these so you can kind of maybe see how really, really well taken care of these are, but also how exciting these are going to be to knit with. So I'll just pick a few more here. There we go. So maybe you can sort of see what that looks like. Like, what great colors, right? And I'll say they're in extremely good condition. Thank you so much, Tan. I really can't say enough about your generosity. That was just such a lovely thing to do, lovely gesture. I am going to be sending him, I'm hoping before I leave on holiday, a nice little thank you for that. He included all of the cables and cords which came with it, which I love these. They're black. They're a little bit better quality, I think, than the Knit Picks cables. They're a little more flexible, and they're black, which is kind of, sexy and cool. And I love these. So I think I'm going to end up knitting with some with some wooden needles more often than metal as a result. And they just tie up so deliciously. This little pouch, thank you, Tan. That's just really very, very generous and very lovely of you. So that was the first thing that arrived this week. And then another thing arrived this week, which, those little ads that happen on Ravelry that are like the little banner ads at the bottom and stuff. I have seen one that I thought, that sounds interesting, wonder what that's about. So I took a look at their YouTube channel, took a look at their website, and reached out to the owner. Her name's Bonnie, actually, and she sent me, these are from Hayward in California. And when I had done the Beast blanket, I'd found fixing drop stitch in garter, as I'm sure most beginning knitters do, a little bit more challenging to fix than stockinette. Stockinette's really quite simple. It's very straightforward. And this solution that they've developed, and it's patented, and you can buy it on their website. And they call this a knit and purl corrections from the front of a fabric with a single tool. And it actually really works, guys. It's called the Fix-A-Stitch. And the packet that arrived is three different sizes in one packet, so for different weights of wool. And so I get some reflection off that. There you go. And so I've been testing these out for, I think these arrived on Tuesday. So I tested them out, and their YouTube videos are amazing. They really do show you how to use the tool. And it works out really, really well. It makes fixing drop stitches beyond just a simple stockinette stitch really, really simple. It kind of works like a crochet hook that's got hooks on both ends. And what it does is it lets you sort of flip and as you hook the stitch, you sort of turn it, slide it through, turn it again, and pull, and it just fixes it. They're super light. They're made of plastic, so they're super light. They fit right in your bag. I know that there's some other tools that are similar, other little sort of mini crochet hooks and stuff that you can buy that do the same thing. But I think they're a great addition to your Notions bag. So I really like these. So they sent me a set to try that also included their lace weight ones that come in this little tube, and I'm not surprised they come in a little tube because they're quite delicate. They're very, very, very slender, very thin. There we go. You can sort of see, and there's 2 within that. So those are great little tool again. These are perfect for the little lace ones, obviously, for if you're a sock knitter. That's a great tool because you can probably do quite a bit of fixing pretty easily. You certainly wouldn't want to leave those in your bag without the little tube that they come in, because that could really get dinged up pretty quickly. So thank you very much to Bonnie. Thanks to Fix a Stitch for sending those through. Very, very, very much appreciate it. So let's talk about some other stash acquisitions. So today I spent some time with a new friend, Jackie, who we've been corresponding on Instagram quite a bit, and she's just from north of Toronto. We spent some time at the Purple Pearl today, knitting and hanging out and chit-chatting, and she gave me the most amazing gift today of a more than generous amount of yarn and other notebooks and stuff, and I'm going to share those in bits and pieces as I get through, sort of figure out what I'm going to do with them, because there's so much in there. I didn't want to spend the whole podcast just talking about one gift. But what I will say is, you may notice I have a new little mascotty friend here, the little lamb, which she gave me as part of that gift. So I think the lamb might come with me on holiday. We'll see. Maybe he might have some adventures in New York and on the cruise with me. So thank you very much, Jackie. Super appreciate that. And I certainly can't thank you enough. But while I was at the Purple Pearl, I picked up a skein of yarn that I originally thought might be for someone else. But I kind of feel like at the end, I wasn't going to buy it. And then I thought, I'm buying it for myself. I kind of want it. It's a company called Red Sock Blue Sock Yarn. They are from Canada. This is their basic sock, 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, 460 yards and 100 grams. And this is their summer colorway. How amazing is that? Look at that, all the different colors. Oranges and aqua and some teals and turquoise. This isn't actually brown. I think maybe it's coming up. Yeah, I think it's coming up all right. It's actually more of a deep wine color. And I honestly fell in love with it. It's just really nice. It feels amazing. It doesn't feel like there's any nylon in it at all, but there is. And look at that section there. Isn't that amazing? Yeah, loving that. So these will end up being socks for me. These are going to be my summer socks. I'll probably do these in my box of socks KAL June, July. I started mapping out what socks I'm going to make each month so that I know what my go-tos are. This is definitely going to be a summer sock because it's called summer. Why wouldn't I, right? So that's this week's primary acquisition. But for anyone who has been following the podcasting world for a little while, you may or may not have heard of Kemper of the Junkyarn podcast. And you may or may not be aware, if you follow her on Instagram, that she has started her own yarn dyeing company. And I may or may not have placed an order with the help of Kemper to help me get the color that I wanted. And I may or may not have received it. Yep. This is her Ray colorway in the sock, which is 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, 463 yards per 100 grams. And when I first saw this, I was just in love with the colors. There's some tonal, there's a lot of speckle. Check out the speckle on that. The colors here are just outstanding. I loved it. But there was also the option to order it with some contrasting yarn to do heels and toes. I had to. Yep. This is the lightsaber colorway. Appropriate, no? So I think this is going to be one of my socks for me. I'll probably do these over the summer as well, or late spring. But I honestly, Kemper has really outdone herself. All of the yarns are based on women in sci-fi and culture. And in fact, her tagline is color inspired by women. So it's not just all sci-fi. There's quite a few other colorways as well. But the Ray one, I'm a Star Wars fan. What can I say? I had to have it. So thank you very much for Kemper to Kemper for helping me get that the colorway. This has been sitting on the table next to me where I sit and I knit, and I've just been every now and again I just pick it up and I do the Mina yarn beard thing, which I have a beard already, but can't help it. Love it. So thank you so much, Kemper, and congratulations on starting. I can't wait to see what else you come up with. So that'll be awesome. I'm going to take just a really quick break and reset my notes and come back in just a moment. Hey, welcome back. So I think at this point we're ready for our 2,000 subscriber giveaway. We are actually, I can't believe this, we're now at actually over 2,500 subscribers to the podcast. I don't even realize how big that is anymore. All I can say is thank you so much to everyone who's subscribed, commented, reached out on, whether it's on Ravelry or Instagram or YouTube. Thank you so very much. And I could not be happier to now announce who those winners are going to be. And yes, you're right. You heard correct. I said winners because there are a number of people who reached out and supplied other little gifties that, there's something. I think I just saw a ghost float by. Strange. I totally lost my train of thought there. Sorry about that. Anyway, so I have already drawn the winners, and I have done that through random.org, picked out of the 302 entries who the winners were going to be. Still can't believe there are 302 entries. That's crazy. But let's start with should we go in reverse order? Because there's now 3 winners, not just one, there's 3. Let's go in reverse order, because that'll be more fun. So the first winner that I drew was entry number 69, and I think her name may be pronounced Nanja, Nanjah, Nanja from the Netherlands. And her response to the prompt, remember the prompt was, what do you love most about knitting? And her response was, I recently started watching your podcast. I love the more masculine view you give on knitting. Knitting is for everyone. It doesn't need to be girly with a winky face. I agree completely. I love, love, love the Let's Collection bags. I don't have any project bag yet. I thought I didn't need any, but those bags from Mrsbrownsbags are strong enablers. You're right, they are. And I'm sorry you didn't win that one. I'm sorry, but I know that Jody will have more in her shop soon. I think she said next week. What I love most about knitting is its therapeutic properties, the feel of yarn, the repetitive movement, being challenged, creating something beautiful. It's soothing, calming, and activating in a very healthy way. I'm a new knitter, but I wouldn't want to miss it anymore. I think I'd go crazy. I totally agree with you. And as a new knitter, guess what? You're going to get your very own set of Fix-A-Stitch. Yep, they sent me 2 sets. So I have one for me and I have one for you. So you're going to get that. So send me a private message on Ravelry and I'll get those out to you. I'm really hoping to get all the prizes out this week. If you send me your addresses quickly enough, I will hopefully get them out before I leave. I need to know within the next 2 days to be able to make that happen. Otherwise, you'll have to wait till April. I'm sorry. But if you act quickly, I can get them out to you quickly. So there's the first one. So congratulations, Nanja. I'm so sorry if I'm bastardizing your name. And here's time for our second winner. Our second winner is entry number 72, random.org. What are you going to do? Who is Elapse M8, who is Emma from Leon C in Essex in the UK. And she writes, OMG, can I write a novel on this? I love the therapy aspect of it. I love that it's something to keep me busy in down times. You hear that? I love seeing how much I have grown and learned about knitting in 2 years. Well, you've still got a year and a half on me, so I totally appreciate that. I love the great community that comes with it. I love all the podcasts. I love my weekly knit night. Well, I have something else for you to love. We have an anonymous donation of a free pattern from the Knit Spot store on Ravelry with a value of any pattern up to $8 US. So you'll have to do your own conversion. And really, really very much appreciate the donation. And I'm certain that you're going to love the pattern. They are gorgeous. In fact, this same anonymous viewer gifted me a pattern, and she gifted me the movie night pattern, sock pattern, which, you know what I'm going to do with it? I'm going to make the race socks as movie night. It couldn't be a better fit. So I hope you find something you like. I'm sure that you will. I took a look through the store myself, and there's certainly quite a few patterns that I've added to my own personal favorites as well. So congratulations, Emma. All you need to do is let me know which pattern you would like, and I will get your name and pattern of choice to the person who will be donating it to you, and it will be gifted to you at that time. And here we go now to the big winner. So just to remind everybody what the prize is, the prize here is a skein of yarn from Voolenvine Yarns. And I'm not going to take it back out of the package because I want to make sure it stays nice and pristine. Maybe if I get a little closer, you'll see it. This is the Dirty on Purpose colorway in the Volca base from Voolenvine Yarns. Trust me, it is squishy and yummy and delicious. You're going to love knitting with this. So that skein of yarn will be yours. In addition, you will receive the Lutz collection bag from Mrsbrownsbags in the pink colorway. And this is folded over. So this is actually the larger size. This is not the sock size, it's the larger size, which I know you're going to love. I've also added in a little stitch marker, which I hope you might be able to see that. Let me just see. Let me zoom that in a little bit. This is from my trip to Disney. So you will receive the Minnie Mouse bow. Actually, it's a progress keeper, sorry, not a stitch marker, that I have added to that as well. And you will also receive one of these lovely Disney tees as part of your package. So what you need to do is you need to get me your, PM me on Ravelry, send me your name, which one you would like to receive, which of the teas. I can give you the selection that's still available for you. And you just have to let me know which one you like, and I will make sure that that gets its way out to you. So who's the winner? That's the question, right? The winner is entry number 22, El Bergeron, who is Laura from Portland, who writes, wow, congrats on the 2,000 mark. Thank you. There are so many things I love about knitting. My favorite would have to be matching yarn to project. So many choices, so little time. Isn't that the truth? Well, now you have some more yarn, and you have a project bag, and you have tea, and you have a progress keeper, and nice, right? Congratulations, I'm so thrilled. But that's not all. You also get 2 free patterns from the Benjamin Krudwig store on Ravelry. Any 2 patterns, any price, you choose. So let's see. You've got pattern, yarn, bag, progress keeper, tea. The only thing you don't have is needles. Sorry, and that's so personal. Otherwise, I'd help you out there too. But that's your personal choice. So, congratulations, Laura. Again, if you can get me your address within the next couple of days, I will do my very, very best to get these back out to you in the post before I leave on holiday. So hopefully you'll receive them quickly. So there we go. We've got our 3 winners. We've got the winner of the Fix-A-Stitch, we've got the winner of the free pattern, and we've got the grand prize winner. So much giveaway. Isn't this fun? I don't know about you guys, but I do have fun doing this stuff. So that's this week's episode. We've got a ton of giveaways that are still coming. Still have prizes I haven't even talked to you about. So there's going to be some spot prizes, I think, throughout the Exploration Station KAL, because they just keep coming, which I'm happy about. And there may be a giveaway on Instagram. You might want to keep your eyes open for that one. Thanks to another wonderful donation that's come in as well. So this is Eric signing off for another week. I'm going to try and maybe get a little something out to you guys before I leave on holiday, but don't count on it. If I do, it'll be a nice surprise. But if that isn't the case, if I don't manage to get that, I will probably get a podcast out to you the first weekend in April. But in advance of that, I wanted to say that for everyone who's asked, I will be attending the Knitters Frolic here in Toronto at the end of April. I will be taking a class, the Grok the Sock class, with Stephanie Pearl McPhee, also known as the Yarn Harlot, which I'm really excited about. I'm pretty comfortable for the most part with sock knitting, but you can always learn something more. And let's face it, it's Stephanie Pearl McPhee. Hello, of course I want to take that class. So I will be probably doing some stash enhancement. I know Turtle Pearl will be exhibiting there. The Purple Pearl will be there. A number of yarn indie dyers are going to be there. A whole bunch of things are going to be going on. I may or may not be doing also a meetup that weekend. A few people have reached out to say, hey, would you be interested, or are you thinking about doing that? I don't know. Would you be interested in that? Maybe I can put something together, but I'd love to sort of get your sense on it. So if you're interested in that sort of thing as well, please do comment in the thread for this particular episode. I might actually start a poll as well, so we can see. Anyway, that's it for this week. I hope you have a great rest of your weekend. I don't think we're going to be doing much this weekend other than maybe just doing sort of the last few things to get ready to go on holiday. And hope you have lots of time to knit. Watch some of your favorite podcasts. I know I will be. And thanks again for watching, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.